Okay, 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Welcome to this very first MapStack live stream. Okay, this is going to be a really cool video. First video. Okay, so excuse any mistakes. It's going to be rough around the edges. Got new gear, got new equipment. Okay, so let me tell you what we're going to do today. On a technical level, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going onto the internet, finding some cool open data, preparing that into a map ready format, and then adding that to MapStack to make it available to everyone in the world as an easy to find and easy to use web map. But on a higher level than that, what I'm actually trying to do is we're trying to figure out a subject matter that we can use for our very first MapStack workspace. So as you may have heard, we're going to be releasing MapStack into public beta in the next couple of weeks. And what we've decided to do as a team is we would like to create a workspace for ourselves inside of MapStack in order for us to actually use the software in a real world setting, share with you guys how we envisage MapStack will be used. And it will also be a really cool way to just have some fun with maps and data. So let me show you what a workspace is in MapStack. So in MapStack, a workspace is similar to what a channel is in YouTube or a project is in GitHub. It's a place where you can have a collection of maps that cover a similar topic, theme, or geography. When you have your MapStack account, you can actually make as many workspaces as you want. And each workspace, you can invite other members to come in and collaborate with you in order to add and update the maps that exist within the workspace. So the MapStack team, we want to make the first workspace before we launch and during the launch as well. And we want to have a topic that we can cover, that we can make videos of. We can do live streams like this. We can make video shorts. We can do lots of cool content things around. So we have to be careful about the subject that we pick, because we need a subject that's going to be interesting for everybody, and not just interesting for us here in the UK. It has to be interesting for everyone around the world. Secondly, it has to have an abundance of open data. So it has to be the kind of thing we can actually get open data for. And then thirdly, I'd kind of like it to be topical or relevant, cover a subject that's interesting, like right now, okay, here in January 2023, the beginning of this new year. So an idea that I've had in my head is to do house price data. I think this is like a hot topic at the moment because we're in a period of very high inflation globally, higher interest rates, property prices. People are saying they're at an all-time high. Maybe there's a crash coming or a downturn. That's definitely what looks like on the horizon here in the UK. And some of the MapStack team are in the US and Canada and Australia and Cambodia. And it seems to be a common story around the world. So I thought that'd be a cool subject to cover. We can make a workspace with maps of property data from the UK or Australia or any countries. I will invite into the workspace other team members. It's just me in this workspace at the moment. We'll invite in other team members to join in on the project. And then in future, we might even open it up to people outside of MapStack to come in and collaborate on that workspace with us. Okay, so I'm running MapStack here at the moment. Here's just an example workspace with just me as a member. And it has one map in it, which is like our US county socioeconomic map. You might have seen this map before on other things. It's kind of like our Hello World map. We use this one a lot. Okay, so what I want to do in this video is I'm going to try and find some UK house price data. Okay, so I'm doing this for the first time. This is raw. I haven't pre-prepared any of this. I'm just going to go out there, find what open data that I can find, and then see if we can map it right here in this workspace on MapStack. I've got no idea how long this is going to take or how easy it's going to be. It's probably going to depend on what data I can find and what formats it's in and things like this. So let's jump straight into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have to do is actually find some data. So we're going to go searching. So we're going to say UK house price data, and let's see what we find. So UK house price index reports and registry. So what have we got here? So reports for the UK house price index, HPI, for England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, including CSV format, available in Welsh. If we've got any Welsh speakers on the live stream, I'm definitely not one of them. National Statistics, Northern Ireland. Okay, the next publication of the index will be 9:30 on Wednesday, the 18th. So it looks like the most up-to-date data that we can find on this system is actually here, the October data. So like I said, it's the 7th of January today when I'm recording this. So it looks like there's a couple of month lag on this data. So let's see what we've got. HPrice summary for October in HTML formats. Now, that's definitely not the format we need. Let's jump in there and see whether. So, like headline statistics for October 2022, the average price of a property in the UK is £296,422. Oh, okay, that's a lot of money. The annual price change for a property in the UK was 12.6%. Okay, so that's really interesting because I'm not sure if it's the same in the countries where you are, but house prices jumped up a lot during COVID. It was really strange. At the beginning of COVID, we all thought, oh, there's going to be this economic downturn. But, you know, the government's turned on the money printing press, throwing out free money everywhere. And it seemed to have really inflated the property market. But we can see that it's actually slowing right down now. The monthly price change for property in the UK, this is in October, so a couple of months ago, was 0.3. I've been watching the news, and if you listen to the news, it sounds like we're already in negative numbers. So next time they release the data for November and December, expect to see negative numbers. The monthly index figure was 155. I've got no idea what that means. All right, so we need data. You know, we don't want to read the whole report. Access the data. Here we go. Download the data as CSV files or access it with our UK HPI portal. Okay, so we want data, don't we? So CSV. So what have we got here? Downloads October 2022. So what we know already is we can download the data from the UK Gov website, but surprise, surprise, it's not in a map ready format. It's available as a CSV. So we're going to probably have to do some more work in order to get this into a map. Some of you watching this will know what that process is. I'm going to have to do a data join. For those of you new to this, you're going to see it for the first time. You're going to see how I can take tabular data. So CSV stands for comma separated value. It's a text file that you can open in Excel or any spreadsheet software. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got the full data, and then we've got individual attribute files for average price, price by property type, sales, cash mortgage. Okay, so this is what we're interested in right here, average price. I think that'd be a cool map. Okay, this is a bit weird. So the full data is 61 kilobytes, but the summarized data that's only part of it is like 9 megs, 29 megs, 4.9. Okay, that seems strange. Okay, let's try and download this data and see what we get. All right, click. That's not working. Okay, right, download's not working. Let me refresh the browser page, see what's maybe something's wrong here. Click. No, it's not working. Okay, UK Gov. What are you doing here? The download's not working on your own site. That's not good. Let's try and grab one of the sub files instead. We'll get this average price. Average price. No. Okay, right. That's not a good start, is it? So what are we going to do? All right. Okay, I'm going to go. Let's try and download it outside of the browser. Copy link address. Right. Excuse me. I'm going to go into full nerd mode now. Okay, so we're going to go into I'm going to download it on the command line. So let's see if we can get it with a wget. Okay, it did get the data. So right. Okay, so we do have data. Right, so it works if I get it from there, but it doesn't work if I get it from the browser. Okay. All right, let's try save link as. Okay, so yep, boom. Aha. Okay. UK HPI data can't be downloaded securely. Okay, I know what this error means. This error means, lucky I'm a web developer. Okay, I'm a software engineer by trade. Okay, so what this error usually means is this website here is HTTPS. Okay, but the server where this download's coming from is not offering the download as HTTPS. Chrome is rightly seeing that as a security problem. Okay, so a little black ticket for you, UK gov.uk here. You know, this is not great. If I wasn't a web developer, I probably would have given up by now. I clicked on this, doesn't work, given up. Now, luckily, I am a web developer, so I am going to get that data. So here we go. UK HPI full data. Okay, so we have the data. It's 63 Megabytes. Okay, right. So second black mark, gov.uk. Firstly, your links don't work. Number two is that value there is wrong. That should be megabytes, not kilobytes. Not a big issue. Just want to point it out. Let you guys know. And this is one of the things I kind of, let me switch back to talking head mode while I go on a little rant here. This is one of the things that I talk about a lot in my video shorts. And one of the things that actually inspired me and the team to build MapStack is working with open data when it comes to maps. It's just too hard. There's just too many obstacles in the way for most people. So 95% of people that aren't web developers, they don't have any mapping experience. This is simply too difficult, this process, just even downloading the file. And I'm not picking on gov.uk here, okay? This is just common across lots of open data portals. And I would say that something like gov.uk or ONS are probably the gold standards. The UK is often ranked one of the best countries in the world in terms of data openness. Okay, so this is as good as it gets. When you start getting into smaller open data portals, regional ones for very niche subjects, things often get much worse. You literally can't get the data. So this is what we want with MapStack. We want open data to be free as in speech, not free as in beer. So what that means is the data has to be accessible and it has to be useful. Okay, these are two boxes that open data, a lot of the time, they're only paying lip service to it. They're not actually giving everybody something that's useful and easy to use. But we're going to do that today. We're going to take this data and we're going to make something that's easy to find and easy to use for everyone. Okay, rant over. I'm going to stop having a pop at gov.uk. All right, so let's go back to my... I don't think I actually changed the view there anyway. So it was me in the corner the whole time. Sorry. The streaming software that I'm using at the moment, I'm new to it. What I wanted to do when I was having that rant is give you the full screen like this. So you see just me while I'm having a pop at the website, but looks like I pressed the wrong button. I have to press transition. So I press this button now. 3, 2, 1. Transition to the new view. Okay. Right. So let's open up this data and let's see what we're working with. So we're going to fire up LibreOffice. And it's nice, right? It's all in the correct tabs. Let's jump in here. What we got? Took a while to open. I'm guessing this is big. It's big. No tips for me today. Thank you, LibreOffice. Okay, so what have we got? Date, region name, area code, average price, index SA, 1M chain, 12M chain, sales. All right, so we got a lot. We got a lot of stuff in here, a lot of data. Okay, so that's what we've got in terms of the columns. And what we got in terms of the row. Okay, right. Aberdeenshire. Okay, so this is the area surrounding Aberdeen. For those of you not familiar with the UK, there are lots and lots of records for Aberdeenshire. All right, let's scroll down a bit more. Epping Forest, Ashford. Okay, let's find Bristol. I'm filming this video in Bristol right now. Bristol's my hometown. It's what I'm familiar with, so it'll be easier for me to understand that. So city, there's lots of records. So what we can see here is this data has the house price data for every month since 1995. Okay, so gov.uk, okay, 4 marks for data disclosure. Okay, this is great. We've got like 27 years of data here. This is awesome. But down mark for the way that you presented it to us. Okay, this is not great. This is what we should have is when I'm downloading this data is some filters like, what year would you like? Would you only like the newest data? Would you like not the newest data, etc., etc.? So we can look at City of Bristol here. So this is actually something just why we're here. So this column here, D, is the average price. So we can see that in the City of Bristol in 1995, the average house cost 44,387. So that means 50% of houses cost less than that. Okay, now let's go right up to 2022 and see what's happened. We've gone from 44,000 to, where are we in the City of Bristol? 362,000. Okay, not quite 10x, but not a million miles away. Interesting story. Right, I'm going to try and do another transition here just so you see me while I give you an interesting story. I went with my mum back to a town in southeast England that I spent the first years of my life, and we did. It's a long way from Bristol. Went on a road trip with my mum, and we did what I call like a little trip down memory lane. We went and saw my first school, my first kindergarten. We went and saw the house we lived in, and we also went and looked at the first ever house that my mum bought. Okay, this house was a detached bungalow in a nice cul-de-sac, 3 bedrooms, nice part of the town. And she said she bought that house for £15,000. That was before I was born, so I won't tell you what that year that is, but a long time ago. £15,000, okay, which was cheap. But the interesting part is she remembered what her salary was at that time and what my dad's salary was. And she said the cost of that house was the equivalent to about 2 times their annual salary. So you could take your own annual salary and buy a nice house. So this isn't the cheapest house in this town. It's probably somewhere in the middle for that town. That's just not possible anymore. It's not possible here in the UK, unless you're on megabucks. Who can spend double their annual salary and buy a house for that? You can't do that in Bristol. You definitely can't do it in London. Can't do it in Australia. Can't do it in Canada. Where's left in the world that you can actually do that? It's pretty cool. Anyway, let's get back to the data. Hopefully my transition works. Boom. Right, we're on a transition. So we're going to have to do a bit of data cleanup here. So first of all, it's 63 megs, which is too much. You know what I'm going to do actually? Let's try and get that. Let's try and start with this smaller data. So we had this one that was just average price, didn't we? So let's have a go with that. Also has the same error. Let's have a look to see what's in there. All right, average prices. So yeah, that's much smaller, 10 megs. That'd be easier to work with. But let's see what actual data we've got. Okay, let's open that up. Okay, that's a little bit more manageable. Region, date. What's the date actually? What's going on here? All right, computer's frozen. Come on, LibreOffice. We know you can do. All right, there we go. Okay, we've got a date. So what have we got here? We've got the date of the data. Oh my God, this data goes back to like 1968. That is insane. All right, okay, we said the UK was good at open data, but this is really, 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 really good. Okay, we go back like more than 50 years. Average house in 1968 in England, £3,400. Wow. Okay. Okay, so what we got in here, we've got region name, area code, average price, monthly change, annual change, and average price SA. Okay, while I've been doing lots of rants today. Here's another rant. Okay, so here's the good things about this data that I'll say to gov.uk. I really like human readable column names. Okay, so anybody could open this data and know what they mean. We know what date means. We know what region name is. So I was looking at this going, yeah, good job, gov.uk. This is really good. Human readable. I don't need a lookup table or some index to figure out what the column headers mean. So it was all good right until we get to here, average price SA. What does SA stand for? What does that stand for? South Africa? Is that like SA, like in the gangster movies? I got no idea. Okay, who knows? Okay, SA. Maybe someone could tell me in the comments. What does SA stand for? I can't be bothered to look it up. Right, so what we want to do here, this data is different to the other one. It seems to be all of the different areas going by date down to 1968. Right, we don't want 1968. Let's get to the end of this. Okay, so here's the newest data. All right, okay, so starts here. So I think what I'm going to do, we only want the October. We just want to map the newest data. Haven't got time to be mapping every piece of data ever. So let's keep scrolling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it in a new sheet. Right, this is really slow. Right, there we are. Okay, right, I'm going to copy that. Insert sheet. Before current, like, okay, LibreOffice, like who does that? Who puts the new sheet before the one you're currently looking at? After should be the default. Okay. All right, let's paste this in here. All right, and let's go back and get those headers as well. Paste that in the top row. So boom, boom, boom. Go. Average price, SA. And let's give that a nice human readable name, rename, average prices 2022 October. Yeah, that's what I need anyway, October. Okay, so we've got the sheet. Right, so we've scaled it down now. So let's have another little look-see at what we've got here. So the good thing is we've got an area code. Okay, this area code is going to be useful because this isn't map-ready data. This is just the tabular data. It has the information. If we're going to map it, we're going to have to find another file that has the geometry for all of these places in the UK. Hopefully we can find that somewhere. And then we're going to have to join it to this table. Now, to join it, what we need is in both sets of data, we need a common attribute that we can use to map between the two files. So that's what I think this is going to be good for. So that's cool. But the problem that we have with this, so this data set is very, very strange in two ways. First of all, they've dumped all of the different dates into a single file. This should have been a filter before the download, in my opinion. Okay. The second one that's weird is they've mixed boundary types. Okay, so for those of you not familiar with the UK is made up of 4 countries: Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. Okay, so what you can see here is the first 4 rows are countries. All right, let's fill those in. I'm going to put it as red because I don't like that. Okay, and then all of these are what we would call areas in the UK. Not all of them are actually. Southeast. Okay, so the Southeast is a region. So we've got regions. So this file's like a hodgepodge of different types. It's got countries, it's got areas, and it's got regions. So if any of you are watching this from the US, I really like working with US data because your government, the Census Department and everything, gives in the data, they use the names that local people know those areas as. I haven't described that in a good way. If you go to the US, everybody knows, right, this is what state I live in, this is what county I live in, this is what zip code I live in. And electoral precincts, I think, is the other one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so it's really easy if you're American to work with your open data because they're using the same boundaries that you're already familiar with. The UK doesn't. The UK uses some very strange boundary types, which not everybody knows. Like if I was going to say what my address is here in the UK, I would say, right, I'm in UK, England, Bristol, Clifton, and I would know my postcode. They're the boundaries that I'm familiar with. Okay, but our open data doesn't work like that. So back into this. So yeah, so these are the regions here, you see. So the UK is broken up into these regions. And there are 1, 2, 3. I can't remember. London, Southeast, Southwest. I can't remember what they're all called. So these, there they are. There they are listed. So these are the regions: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've already highlighted those countries. So the regions are also in that data. So if we're going to map a data set, we can't have mixed geometry types like that when we map it. We need to have just one. So I'm going to have to get rid of these countries. And I'm also going to need to get rid of these regions. So where were they? I saw them a second ago. So we know there are 9 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yorkshire and the Humber, I'm pretty sure that's not a region. Is it? Oh, it is a region. Okay, so luckily they grouped them together in a, all right, northeast, northwest. It's very strange. So we've got countries, and then we've got a lot of Scottish places in Scotland, and then we've got these regions that are here. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then Tyne and Wear, let's highlight those. We'll put those as orange. Tyne and Wear isn't a region, I don't believe. Okay, right. So we were talking about like difficulty of preparing data earlier. So we had difficulty downloading this file. So that was more difficult than it needed to be. And now the preparation is kind of complicated as well. Like, luckily, I'm kind of familiar. I'm good at geography. I work with maps a lot. I'm familiar with what these region names are. This would probably be a headache for a lot of people. It's not structured in a way that lends itself to being easily worked with. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take all of this data. I'm going to insert a new sheet after. Okay, I like doing new sheets because I hate doing undos in spreadsheets. And this one's going to be, we'll call this rename average prices October 2022 October, just areas. Okay, we haven't got all the other junk in there, so we're going to delete these countries, delete rows, and then we're going to get rid of these regions. Oops. Hold shift. No, that's wrong. Right. Here's plan up. I thought I could hold control and get rid of those, so we'll do them in 2 batches. So that's the first one, delete rows. All right, gone. Delete rows. Oh, do you know what I'm going to do? Sorry, stick with me a second. I'm going to go to YouTube to make sure this is actually live streaming. This is the first time I've ever done this, and I haven't checked this yet. I'm going to scream if we're not. So bear with me a second. I'm just on another screen down here. I'm going to look at my channel, videos, live. Okay, right, we are live. Okay, right, emergency over. Okay, right there. Okay, so we've got this spreadsheet now. I'm going to delete this column as well because I don't even know what it means. Average price SA. What's the point in having data in there if I don't know what it is? Get rid of that. Gone. Okay, so now we've got this nice data here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to export that sheet. How do I export one sheet? Maybe I can just go File, Export. No, once it will save it as HTML, maybe I just do a Save As. Right. So we're going to save this. Average prices 2022 10 areas. Okay. Save. Use text CSV format. Warning: the document average prices to areas. Only the active sheet was saved. Good, because that's what I want. All right. So let's see how big that file is now. 29 kilobytes. Okay, so that's pretty small now. Right. So we are now halfway there. We have the data in we have the tabular data now. We have the information we need. Now we need to map it. So we've got to find some geometries. So what we've got to figure out is, what are these codes? It says area codes here. Now let's try and find that as data. Now I don't like shape files, okay, but I'm going to search for shape file because Google does. Like, if you want to find data in Google, the word shape file is like one of those handy keywords. So UK areas, postcodes. We definitely want postcodes. Ordnance Survey, code point ocean, code point open geography. Right, so that is definitely not what we're looking for. Now, remember I said before, the UK has these really weird administrative boundary names. So UK, let's find administrative. Spell that wrong. Oh my god. Civil parish. I haven't done this in so long. They're called like LDAP or something like, and super boundary. They're called super somethings. LDAP. No, I'm guessing here. I can't remember what the name is for the life of me. All right, okay. What we're going to do, we'll figure it out for Bristol. Right, so Bristol, this code. Let's find out what that means. So UK, Bristol. Find that postcode. Local authority boundary. Okay, local authority, population change. Postcodes in Bristol. It's definitely not a postcode, I know that. Well, postcodes in Bristol start BS. BS1, BS2, BS through to 32. Okay, so local so where is it? Right, there's one there. So Bristol is a local authority. So UK administrative. Got that wrong again. Local authority. Illustrative geography. All right, let's see if we can get schooled. Let's get some learning from ONS. Of all the open data sites in the UK, the ONS one's pretty cool. Actually, they've got some very nice maps for some of their data. But the ONS doesn't do property price stuff, I believe. All right, so metropolitan area, electoral wards and electoral subdivisions, metropolitan areas. Oh, this is what it's called: LADs, LADs, LAD, SSR. Yeah, nobody knows what any of this stuff is. You ask anyone in the UK, like, what's a LAD? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Okay, so regions, London boroughs, counties, unitary authority electoral wards. What's the name, right? So let's see if we can find that. UK unitary authorities shapefile. Counties and unitary authorities, data guards, counties and unitary authorities, full clipped. UK, I looked up down this before. UK admin boundaries, GIS. I remember this site. Everything's paid. Boo. This is why we want MapStack. Everything should be free data, especially when the government's really making it free. All right, let's jump in here. 2019 boundaries, BUC. Right, so here we go. What we got? We've got some shapefiles, KMLs, CSVs, shapefile preview not available. All right, that's a good start. Not found. Okay, so open data rant. This is the problem. These open data portals, half the stuff's broken. It's not there. It doesn't work. Unitary authorities. UK boundaries. Shapefile. There's Mango there. Local administrative units level 1. Let's go and see what this is. Units level 1, United Kingdom, January, nuts area. Does this one work? No. All right, that doesn't work either. All right, so this is, like always, this is harder than it needs to be. So let's go back in our data for Bristol. So let's go. UK. What type is this? City of Bristol, postcodes, LDA. So I keep seeing this LDA. So let's go UK LDA shapefile. See what that brings up. Data search, London, European Environment Agency. So I thought Brexit had happened. We've still got to go to the EU to get our data, have we? Let's see if they've got any shapefiles in there. Great Britain shapefile. Okay, this would be funny, wouldn't it? It'd be funny if actually, where did we get the data from originally? So we originally got it from here. Maybe this will tell us where more about the data. Data is available as a CS file. All right, so we're in here. This file includes derived back series HTML data for Northern Ireland, largest full data in the background file, individual attributes, revision table. So it doesn't really tell us what these areas are. UK HPI, CSPI format, house prices, publishing making use of the data. Index seasonally adjusted, repossessions. Nothing in there. About the UK HPI data tables. Right. How is this data different to UK search, average prices, UK revisions, format of the data, area code? Aha. Right. Code of geography, country, regional, county. We already got that. Unitary, district authorities, and London borough. Aha. Okay, so I think we're getting somewhere now. So we know what type of data that is. So we're going to go. It's going really slow now. What's going on? Is that government portal sucking up all my data? Countries and unitary authorities. Output area to right. Okay, that's what I remember. Remember earlier I was trying to say this called LDAP or something like that. I've seen it before. Here it is. Output area to upper tier local authorities. lookup in England. Okay, so that's what we want. We want that data. Output area to region. Map, output area. Just have a look at the map. Let's see what, maybe we'll be able to. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. They're the codes. That's what we've got, haven't we? Okay, I think we are in the right place. So let's download that data. What? No, we don't want a CSV. No, I thought we'd CSV lookups. All right, so it's not map data. Download CSV. Feature service. No, we don't want a feature service. What do we want a feature service for? We want a file. So a lookup between the counties unitary. That's not good. All right. Where did we just go then? So it's Open Data Soft. That's not a government site, you know. All right. So there we go. Data there. Map. Can I get the data from the map? All right. That looks like what we're after, but I want the data. Where's the data? Come on, UK Gov. Unitary authorities, 2015, full extent. We've already been here, haven't we? We know this doesn't work. Yeah, broken. Okay, I've already done a rant about how bad government data portals are. I don't need to do it again. Districts of England. UK Data Service. Oh, click the wrong thing there. UK Census Geography Boundaries Local Authorities UK Data Service. Let's see what they got. Non-metropolitan districts. The things are there, but they're not all in one file, are they? CSV, camp info, local authority borders, shapefile format. This might be what we're after. Go to the resource. That file name's not promising. Oh, we have a shapefile. Okay, we have a shapefile. Let's extract that. So we have some. I just dumped it all in the directory. Nice. 97 megabytes. All right, that's way too large. Let's open it up with QGIS, see what we're working with. Oh, error. Ignore that. All right, that does look like the right data, but it is absolutely massive. Honda City. I'm not sure why it's so huge. It must be like very detailed data. So let's keep looking a moment, because I don't want to have to do a simplification that's outside of the scope of this ordnance survey. No. District authority. We get a generalized version. Data carve, unitary authorities. We already know. GeoJSON. Maybe I can get the GeoJSON. No, 404. Brilliant. Resource was not found. All right, so Vinner Ordnance Survey, filters for open geography, regional councils, 2022, New Zealand. I just so you can see I spend a lot of time on these portals. You can see where the links have been clicked. Shapefile. UK areas. Generalized. That's level 1, 2018, clipped boundaries. This keeps coming back to this site, which is broken. Digital boundaries offered for national statistics, middle super output layer. I know, I've gotten. Let's check. Okay, right, give me a second. Let's. I think I might actually have this data. I might actually have this data somewhere on my hard drive. Right, bear with me a second. We are going to see whether. If I've got this data anywhere on my hard drive already. Doesn't seem like I do. Okay, right. So we are going to keep searching. Digital boundaries, National for Office Statistics, BC, BU generalized 500 meters. Availability from the Open Geography portal. Please say that isn't where we've just been and all the data's broken. It's loading. It's loading. Come on, data gods. All right, here we go. Wards, parishes, local authority districts 2022 shapefile. This looks promising. And we are local authority, layer, boundaries, full resolution, generalized to 20 meters. I think we're making progress. Right, excuse me, I'm going to have a drink of my Coke. Get a dry mouth, too much talking. All right, this looks good. Right, there's Bristol. Let's zoom into Bristol and see if the codes match. So there's Bristol here. E06, a load of zeros, 23. E06, load of zeros, 23. Bang, we've got the right data. Now, CSV, KML, shapefile, 4.6. Right. Before we click this button, let's do a prayer to the open data gods. Please make this file available and don't show me a broken link. Ooh! We've got the data, people. We've got the data. How long was that? I feel like I've been going around in circles for 10 minutes trying to find this. Absolute joke, right? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Let's open this up and see if it actually does what it says on the tin. All right, let's put this in a folder because my downloads folder is getting messy. We will say, let's just, the data. Like rubbish name, I know. All right, close. All right, so the data. Shapefile, okay, reasonable size. Let's open it up in QGIS. All right, drum roll, please. All right, come on, QGIS. Long-term release. Yeah, ignore that error. Don't know what it is. Still thinking about it, QGIS. Okay, I don't think QGIS is actually being slow. The streaming software that I'm using at the moment seems to be quite resource intensive. It's like this all the time. It's like it's using like all my CPUs. So yeah, it's quite a strange one. Right, where was I? Let's go back to QGIS. Okay, so that looks like the right data. Blah blah blah. Something about the thing. You like my black background? I'm all about the dark themes and everything I could do. QGIS, you need a like full dark theme. Maybe there is a dark theme for it. If somebody knows how I can set QGIS up in dark theme, ping me in the comment below. I would love to know. All right, so we have the data. So for those of you, a lot of you have done data joins a million times before. Let me explain to everybody else who's watching that's never done this what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Okay, so this is a data set now that contains the geometry. The geometry are these outlines that you see for the places we're talking about. So I can press this button here and I can click on there and we can see this is the city of Bristol. And the data contains nothing about prices, house prices. Okay, this isn't house price data. It's just boundary data. And so I can click on a feature and see the information, or we can press this, open up in a table, and we can see a table of all of the data here. Okay, so here's the data that I just got from, which website was it? It's the statistics.gov.uk geoportal. Oh my God, that's an Esri logo in the corner there. Like, boo. No, I'm not that anti-Esri, but come on, UK, can't you make your own portal? ONS has an awesome portal. I'm pretty sure that's not based on Esri technology. Can't you borrow from them? Anyway, right, back to QGIS. Yeah, where's the table? So we've got this table view here, and so what we can see is we have this code here, which contains the same information that's in our spreadsheet. And we're going to use that code to join. So what we can do is, you can see here we've got city of Bristol. Let's just, so what's the top? So the top record in here, we've got like Aberdeen city, S12. The S probably means Scotland. I guess E is England. 12, load of zeros, 33. So if we go in here and we look for Aberdeen, city of Aberdeen, Scotland, 12, load of zeros, 33. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show my full talking head now so I can do some hand signals. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tell QGIS to look at the column in the shapefile that contains the geometry with all of those codes, and then look at the spreadsheet that contains all of those codes and look for matches and join them together into one data set. All right, that's enough hand signals now. Let's get back to the screen. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. So to do that in QGIS, it's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So what we need to do first is we need to upload our spreadsheet into QGIS. Now, it's been a while, but I think you come in here, delimited text. I choose the file. That was the one, wasn't it? Average prices, 2022 October areas. Okay, that's the one. I'm going to add it in here. We have to select this no geometry one here because this is just a CSV file. It doesn't contain any geometry. Some CSV files can contain points, like a lat long to show you where a point is, but this doesn't. So we've got to tell that to QGIS. We add it in here. And then to do the join, I can't remember. Do we right click on here? We right click on here and we do, what do we do? What do we do? So setting in there, was it in layer? Open attribute table, vector. Is it one of the tools in here? How do we do a table join? I've forgotten. Joins, boom. Oh, what's going on here? Joins. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to say, right, we're going to join the layer, average price areas. We're going to join the area code to the, was it that? LAD22 CD, LAD22. I can't remember. I remember it was LAD22 something. Right, we'll come back. Let's go back in here just to have another look just to confirm. Okay, LAD22 CD, LAD22 NM. Okay, so I'm guessing God knows what LAD stands for. 22 is probably the year. CD, I'm guessing, means code. NM means name. So we actually need this one. So remember we were talking about before where I said gov.uk. Okay, I gave them some bonus points because they had human readable column names. So when I'm talking about column names that are not human readable, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. Like LAD22 CD, what does that mean? What does this mean? What's this? What's this? Latin long, we can figure that out. Global ID, your shape, length, and area. But I hate these column names. This is like a limitation of the shapefile format as well, which is why I prefer to use GeoJSON when I'm dealing with reasonably sized files, because we can have the column names as long as we want, and we can make them human readable. We can make them detailed, and the word escapes me right now, but something that's much more useful to people that are not mapping experts to make this data more accessible. Okay, so rant over. So LAD22, that's what we're going for. Where are you gone, QGIS? All right, here you are. So how did I do it again? Properties, join. So we now know that we want to join the area code, okay, the area code column in the spreadsheet to the LAD22 CD column in the data. Custom field prefix. Okay, now this is an interesting button here. I remember this because you're going to end up, when it does the join, it's going to give you some like really, really crazy column names. So we're going to put a it's going to append, to make it unique, it's going to append something to the beginning. So maybe we'll just put join. Okay. Underscore. I think you just likes underscores. Okay. Right. So we're going to hit apply. Okay. Did that work? that wasn't a very useful dialogue there, QGIS. All right, I got to call you out on that one. I love QGIS, big fan of QGIS, but has anything happened? It has happened. Look, we've got these extra columns down here now. Okay. So we have this join. So we now have this average price, monthly change, and then a lot of other junk region names. So what I'm going to do is I want to clean this data up a bit. So how do I delete? I'm going to delete some of these columns because, yeah, I don't want to, when we upload it into MapStack, I don't want to have like mega data. So we're going to go edit, and is that the button? So we're going to delete all of the things we don't need, right? That LAD 22, that's already repeated. Bung, Bung, that's probably east and north, got no idea. Lat long, don't need that. Global ID, you can go shape, area, boom. Those things can all go. These ones are grayed out, so I'm guessing this join has only happened in memory, maybe. Let's just... All right, yeah, that looks like it's only in memory. So I'm not sure what that means exactly yet. We'll see. So go back to edit, columns, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. All we really want is the geometry, actually. Let's just get rid of everything apart from the geometry that was from the other file. Click OK. I undo. No, I've muted the data. Okay, so it was in memory, and because I got rid of the ID that it was using for the join, it's close without saving. All right, okay, we're back. So I think what we actually need to do first is we need to let's save the features as right. We're going to be working with GeoJSON when we upload it to MapStack anyway. So let's go into GeoJSON here, and we will call this let's call it what the final file is probably going to be called. So the UK house price, UK area house prices 2022 10. Yep. Boom. Boom. So it's going to add that as a new layer to the map now. If that works, then we can just bin this shapefile. All right, green. Okay, we're in green. So if we open this up now, hopefully it's all been joined together and we have the attributes. All right, so we've got everything in there now. So this one's stored to an actual file, not in memory. So I should be able to go and delete these surplus to requirements names. We'll keep that LAD22 one in there for the moment, just to, because I don't want to make that mistake I made before. Shape there, join. Oh no, we want the date, average price, annual change. Nothing's happened. It's frozen. I was thinking about it. 102, 204, 326. Still thinking about it. Looks like it's deleting them one column at a time. We're getting there. Right. Is that everything? Is that done? I think it is. Right, so save. Okay, cool. Right, so we've slimmed the data out now. Oh, I just noticed something interesting. There's one with null values. How do we... There's a way to view that on the map. Oh. All right. So I think we now have the data. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move into MapStack. So bye-bye GeoPortals, bye-bye. We're going to come in here now, and we are going to create a new map in my MapStack workspace. So let's hit the Create Map button. Right, what's happening? It looks like my computer is slowing down. Looks like something's wrong with my internet. Let's hope we're not having a... Right. I'm not logged in. There's the problem. Okay, so we are going to sign in, and we are going to create a map. We're actually using the old MapStack map creator interface here. We've got a new cool one on the way, which hopefully will be released before we do the launch. Where's my data? Where is my data? Okay, there it is. So UK area house price 2022, 25 megs. GeoJSON invalid. 49 feature. At 49, feature has no numeric property. Okay, so we've something wrong with our data that we did. So let's go back in there. Open the attribute table. Now, I think I know what the problem is, because I think when we were looking at this before, why is everything selected? There was something in there with null values, wasn't there? Yeah, that. So let's just delete that. Let's delete that record. I think that's likely to be the problem. So what's probably happened there is sometimes when you do a join, the records from, say, the spreadsheet and the geometry won't match exactly. Sometimes there can be different dates, a different authority. If I had more time and I wasn't in a live stream, I'll probably dig into that a little further to see exactly what's happened. But just for the sake of brevity, is that the right word? Brevity, simplicity. We will just crack on with it as is. So let's try this again. Okay, right. It likes it this time. So that was the problem with that record. So which properties are we going to use in the map? I think we're going to use all of them. Now, in MapStack, the very first thing, remember I was saying before, one of my pet hates is not having human readable names. The very first thing we ask you to do in MapStack when you upload a piece of data is to change the existing column names to nice human readable ones that will make it user friendly for all of the people that are new to mapping and new to this type of data to be able to navigate the data and understand what they're looking at. So we're going to get rid of LAD22CD because that's rubbish. And we're going to call that area code. And then these ones here, we're just going to, let's get rid of the underscores, get rid of the join. Annual change, average price, 8. Monthly change, and it's not region, it's area. We'll call it area. I think that's a nice, right. So there we go. Updated all of those. So we've got this little quote for you here at the top. A good property name can be understood by everyone. So an example of a good one, average population. Bad, underscore pop. That's bad. Okay, so which one's going to be the title? The area name will be the title of each of the features. Do any of the properties contain averages? Yeah, the average price is definitely an average. Clues in the name. Percentages, annual change and monthly change. Are those percentages or are they real term values? 0.4, 14, 20, 21. Yeah, they're not money values. They are definitely percentages. So where's my browser? So that's a percentage. That's a percentage. Number range properties. So which ones are numbers? Which ones could be displayed in a quantity legend? All 3 of them. And finally, category. No, date is definitely not a category for this map. Let's hit next. So what's the coverage area? We're covering the UK. What's the feature type? We're calling them areas. I'm not going to call them, what they call them, super annuated authorities, or that's too much of a mouthful. We'll stick with area. Map topic, house price, property price. Property and house, the same thing? I don't know. Property price, map. Continue. And what should we make the default visualization? Average price. I think that'd be cool. Right. Let's see if this works and see what this map looks like. Right. Something has gone horrendously wrong. Wow. Okay. So that looks like something's very, very, very wrong with the geometry. So let's go and look at our data. So what's the data that we just uploaded? It was this one, wasn't it? Right. We're going to look at this in a text editor. just to see. Actually, we're gonna open it with. That's gonna break my. Just gonna look at the end of the file. I'm gonna do a little Linux trick here. Average house prices. What was it called again? UK area house prices. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a look at the end of the file. Look at the last 100 lines and look at the geometry. I suspect that what's happened is it doesn't contain lat long coordinates. QGIS has changed the dibba. What are my options here? GeoJSON. Yeah. So these are definitely not lat long coordinates. So we've got the wrong coordinate system in the data. No idea why that has happened. So we're on some weird EPSG 27700. So it looks like what's happened is when I converted this to GeoJSON, it didn't convert it to WGS84. So let's go inverse British National Grid. Four, 3, 8, 2. So let's try and export that now. Save features as. No, we don't want that. We want that. And we're gonna go here. Two. Okay. Save that. What's the warning? Multiple operations are possible converting the coordinates. All right, so we've got that one there. So now we should have this like number 2 file in here. So let's do a tail of that. And then hopefully that one's now going to contain that long type coordinates, which it now does. They look like geographic coordinates. So that's all good. So we are going to bin this map. This is a bad map. Okay, it didn't save it anyway. I didn't like that one. So we're gonna do that again. Let's try and do it a little bit quicker this time. I won't talk you through the whole process because you've already seen it. We're going to come in here and say what properties we want to include in the map. All of them. Human readable names. Area code. The underscores. Join. The underscore. 8. Join. Monthly change. It's going to be interesting when we load this map to see whether the coordinates all work, because I don't know why, but coordinate system transformations, I only trust them like 99, is that a bit high? Maybe 95% of the time, whether they're going to work. So, right. Oh, no, I don't want to call that a region name, do I? I don't like region name. We're going to call that name, area name. Yeah, that's better. Region name. Regions in the UK means something else. There's only what we showed earlier. There's like a 9 or 11 regions in the UK. This data is definitely not regions. Which are averages? We did that before. That's an average. Those two are percentages. They're all numbers. Date isn't a category. Next, what are we covering? UK. Feature type, area. Property price. UK area property price map. It's a good name. Default map, average price, continue. Right, let's see if this one works. We've actually got a new map creator that we're working on at the moment. And the map creator, as soon as you upload it, you can actually see the geometry on the map while you're filling in all of these details, which helps you walk through it. And it would have helped us to identify that geometry problem right at the beginning rather than at the end. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, we're zoomed into the right place. Yeah, we look like the right areas, and boom, there we go. We have a map. So now we can see that data mapped by house price. We can see the darker purple colors are for the higher prices. and the lighter ones are for the lower prices. We can see there's huge variation in the UK for average property prices. Goes all the way from £119,000 all the way to like, nearly £1.4 million. So there's a lot of variation in the UK. Actually, let's have a little bit of fun with this map. Right, let's see where the cheapest and most expensive places are. So we're going to hit filter here, and we're going to say, right, I want to see all the places in the UK where the average price is. Right, let's go with the lowest first. Let's start low. So we've got about 119,000 is the lowest. So let's say 130, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm looking for a budget house in the UK. Where do I go? Okay, so there are only 2 places in the UK that are less than that. So we can see the results in a table here, and we can say there are 3 actually: Burnley, Hyndburn, and Iverclyde. Okay, so Burnley, I know where Burnley is. So here's Burnley. It's in the north of England, and we can click on. Oh no, they're next to each other. Burnley, Hyndburn. Okay, so Burnley's obviously the cheapest, £119,000 in Burnley. Let's go to Google Maps. Let's go look at Street View. Let's see what £119,000 gets you in the UK. So Burnley. Let's go to Burnley. Right, there's Burnley. Let's go into a random area. Let's just drop a random pin. We're interested in averages here. Cool. Okay, so there we are, Burnley. So terraced houses. So this is what we known in the UK often as a 2 up, 2 down. So there'll be 2 rooms on the first floor, 2 rooms on the upper floor. So you can see the rooms are all kind of in a grid system. So we can see there seems to be a lot of abandoned houses, which is never a good sign. There's some sort of shutters on various places here, boarded up. Okay, so yeah, it looks like Burnley's a place that's a little bit down on its luck at the moment. So that's £119,000. So and the other one, where was it? It was in Scotland, wasn't it? So Scotland, Inverclyde. I'm not so familiar with that, but that looks like a very rural area to the west of Glasgow. Okay, so let's go to the other end of the spectrum now. So there's some houses in the UK where the average is over 1.3 million. That's ridiculous. Let's see where those are. So let's go into the filter again. Let's change the filter. I want to see houses that are greater. I want to see where the ballers live. So 1.3 billion. Like, we already know it's going to be in London, don't we? Do we really even need to? Let's see where in London. Okay, so here we are in London. That's one area. Kensington and Chelsea. Yeah, I could have guessed that. I'm not sure I really needed to go in here to see that. So this is a very wealthy. If you want to be a neighbour of the Queen, this is where that you go and live. Central London. If you've ever had a chance to visit, lovely houses around there. Actually, I'll show you. Let's have a look. We had a look at Burnley. Let's go and have a look at Chelsea and Kensington. Chelsea and Royal Borough. That's when you know you're in a nice area in the UK, when the name of the area starts with Royal. The Royal Borough of Chelsea and Kensington. So here it is here. So let's zoom in here. Let's drop Mr. Pinman. Let's see what you get for 1.3. What pile you get for 1.3 million in London. I get church. Let's swing the camera around. Oh, there you go. That's what you get. You get your massive townhouse. You got your Bentley parked on the drive. Very nice. So remember, 1.3 is just the average. So that means 50% of the houses in this area cost more than 1.3 million. Okay, which is amazing. These kind of Georgian townhouses in the UK, this is 2 houses. So for those of you in the US, we like to join houses together a lot. So this is 2 houses. This side is one house. This side is the other. So you only get half. That's what you get for 1.3 million, not all of it. And I imagine these houses, these won't be 1.3 million. I know London, these will be some of the larger ones in this area. These will probably be, I would say, £10 million. At a guess, hazard a guess. Let's see if we can find some smaller ones in that area. Let's pick another random street. Yeah. So this is probably what you're going to be getting in this area for like 1.3 million, like a terraced townhouse or an apartment. Okay, that's what you'll be working with. Very expensive part of of the country. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so we've seen the most expensive, we've seen the cheapest. Now let's take a look. All right, so we've got two other things here. We've got annual change. So let's see where the change is. So for people that are familiar with the UK, we can already see that the most expensive housing in the UK is situated in London and around London and the south. And generally speaking, things tend to get more reasonable the further north you get. There's a few outliers around there, but that's the kind of general rule of thumb. In the UK, this area down here is quite rural. Most of Wales is quite rural. The east is rural. Most of the population in the UK is in this window here. You could call it like the belly. That's where most people live. The vast majority of the population. So let's see where the most change has been happening. Okay, so the change in the last year goes from some places have gone up 37%. Some have lost 7%. Okay, so this is an interesting map because this map at first glance looks inverse of the property value. We can see the places that have lost the most money are in London. Okay, so the most expensive property, the ones that have lost the most. So we've still got Chelsea and Kensington highlighted. How much is Chelsea and Kensington? So 7.96. So it looks like Chelsea and Kensington and Chelsea actually hold two records. It's the most expensive area in the entire country. And it's also the area that lost the most, 7% in the last year, which is quite amazing. So two records for that area. Now, I think what was a big trend during COVID was with all the work from home things, there was a big thing of people not having to go into the office. So selling their expensive city properties and moving to the greener areas of the UK. So not only the green areas, the most picturesque. So we can see here like South Devon, North Devon. This is like the Cotswolds up here. So areas of like astounding natural beauty where you can go and get some like beautiful cottages and things like, wow, what's up here? The islands off of the Shetland Islands. The Shetland Islands of annual change 18%. So there's probably a lot of people during COVID. They said, right, you know what? I'm gonna bug out. I'm going off grid. I'm gonna go and live in the Shetland Islands. Maybe that was a good call. Monthly, I don't know what this means. This probably jumps up and down a lot. Anyway, I think we're going to wind up the live stream now. I think it was cool. I showed you the process of finding some data. We realized what an absolute headache that entire process is many parts of the time, and how you can see the process that I just went through. I'm somebody who makes maps all the time. I'm very computer literate. I'm a software engineer, and it was still difficult even for me. We're like an hour and 12 minutes into this. It took me an hour basically to prepare that map. That's too long. But now this map now exists on MapStack. It's on our staging server, but let's just pretend we're live. It's in a few weeks' time when MapStack's live. I've now mapped this, and now it's available to everyone forever for free. They don't have to do any of that work anymore. They could just click on the map and then go and access the map inside our system. Demo effect. They can just access that map inside the MapStack system. And once this system's live and we start getting indexed by Google, what I would hope to have is in future, most people, they're just going to go in and go, right, UK house prices by area map. Okay, they're going to go bang. And then top of the list in here, you're going to see MapStack, and you're going to have a map with that detailed UK open data contained in it. There's some maps here already. We'll see what they're like. There might already be some cool maps with this data. There might be. Let's have a look. So let's see what the current top result in the UK is. Okay, it's a heat map. It's a heat map. It doesn't tell me. I can scroll it. It doesn't tell me when this data's from. It seems to be a list of points. Maybe I'm a bit biased here, but I think the map we just made was far superior to that. Okay, so yeah, there you go. There's the process. So our goal at MapStack is we envisage a future where all of the world's open data is available for free for everyone in a very simplistic and easy to use format. We want to improve the data literacy of humanity by doing this. This is our mission. This is our goal. I hope you guys are all going to join us for the journey. Okay, I'm signing off the live stream now. Peace.